ones who came with this witchcraft and thought developing ways to practice it. Jeremiah 49:7. It says, concerning Edom, talking about the so-called white man, thus says the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? See, that Teman goes into the German. The German was Temanites. That's why when you go into Germany, in that area, it has a history on the Temanites. They was in that area because the so-called white man is the Edomite. Teman was a son of Esau. So this is where their wisdom was at. It says, his counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished. See, the wisdom that these people was coming with was witchcraft. See, they had the wisdom to dig into the witchcraft and use the witchcraft as a weapon. Use the witchcraft as a way to gain power and riches. Even though the Lord set this up and gave them a blessing, but this still is how they operate. They deal in witchcraft, the spirit world. And he got them depending on the witchcraft because they think that's going to save them. Okay, let's see here. So anyways, I was going into these Germans over here. The Germans during the Enlightenment era in the 1700s, maybe late 1600s, there was a school called Göttingen, the Göttingen University or something like that. And so this was all they psychologists, all they scientists. They was going to this college and they was digging into the brain, the body, the humanity. They was digging into everything. Oh, let's get that. In Psalm 64. Psalm 64, verse 6. It says, and this talking about the Edomites, Psalm 64, verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. See, that's what the Enlightenment period was. They were searching out everything. It say, but the both inward part, Salakia, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart, talking about the mind, is deep. So they was going deep. See, this back in the late 1600s, early 1700s, these red dragons was going deep. And what was going on in the 1600s, 1700s? Negroes was on the run. They was warring with the Hamites, and the Hamites was throwing their behind into slavery, selling them to the so-called white man. See, because it was one guy, I forget his name, but he wrote a book about when he was a little boy. And he said they was always fighting. It was always a war. And they had to have people looking out. Because if you ain't look out, the Africans was coming. And they wound up catching him and taking him to the island. So he told the whole story. He said we was doing the same stuff that the children of Israel was doing. And the African was always coming and warring with us. See, we always had to stay on the lookout. So during that period of time, while they fighting and getting drug off into slavery, you had these dragons in Germany in the laboratory, in the colleges, looking at how you dissect the body. They got so many levels of what they was doing. They got all the psychologists, all the psychologists, psychiatrists. They got all kind of people digging into the knowledge and witchcraft. See, they were digging into everything. That's where all this mathematics See, when you go into mathematics ain't nothing but some science, and science going back to knowledge. So all of this math, science, they was coming up with all this stuff during the Enlightenment era, and it was going in their universities in Germany. See, and this is when they was developing and digging into the witchcraft, and then they finally come up with the Illuminati in 1776. Look at the timing. 1776, the Illuminati was this group that was close to that place in Germany. See, these German people that was trying to steal the identity of the Israelites. See, they had them formulated their whole plan. We gonna get their identity and keep it. Then we gonna enslave their behind. Let's keep going down there and enslave them. But then you wonder how they know where the Israelites is at. How they figure out where these people's at. How the Catholic Church say, well, they down there in the west coast of Africa. Cause these dragons doing witchcraft. They sacrificing children. They doing blood sacrifices. They doing witchcraft. See, they was being shown by these familiar spirits where the Israelites was at. They was being shown what to do. See, they been dealing with witchcraft, man. That's what the Enlightenment period. They was being enlightened. They was being shown. Oh, that's what Isaiah 14 and 12. That's how they got the name Lucifer. See, Lucifer means the enlightened one. And it ain't talking about one person. It's talking about a nation. It was a whole nation. Because verse 16 gonna clear it up, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. See, that Lucifer stands for a light bearer. Somebody that's bearing the light. Somebody that's being enlightened. And during the 1700s, the late 1600s, early 1700s, they was formulating a plan of enslaving the Israelites. That's what they was doing in these German colleges over there in Germany. It says, how art thou cut down to the ground? That's what it said in Isaiah 47, when it's talking about the enchantments of these dragons. It says, which did weaken the nation. Let me get straight to the point, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. Nobody, if what these dragons is saying, that Lucifer is some fallen angel, nobody's finna look upon no fallen angel. It says, they shall look upon thee and consider thee. They shall look upon thee and consider thee and say, is this the man? See, this, they not gonna say, is this the fallen angel Lucifer? No. And they not talking about one man. They gonna say, is this these dang on elite, the so-called white man? See, is this the one that had all this power? And they're gonna be saying this during slavery. And it ain't gonna be the 1865 slavery. This is gonna be the slavery of the so-called white man. See, when he's behind in chains, and you got a bunch of Negroes and Hispanics and Native Americans dragging they behind in chains, that's when this is gonna be said. See, this ain't gonna be said while he got nuclear missiles, tanks, and all this amazing stuff. It says, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and that did shake kingdoms? See, they gonna be looking on the so-called white man at that point and saying, well, what happened to him? How he end up in slavery, man? He got chains on. How he got chains on him? Why he got chains around his ankle? See, and it's gonna be thousands, millions of them. Yeah, all of them ain't gonna be destroyed by the nuclear fire. The nuclear fire gonna kill a lot of them. But let's get that in Amos. See, Amos let you know that some of them gonna survive the nuclear fire. Amos chapter 9, verse 12, it say that they may possess the remnant of Edom. See, it's gonna be a remnant of them that's gonna survive. See, that's gonna be these elites who doing all this witchcraft. It's gonna be a remnant of y'all that's gonna survive, and that's when y'all as Lucifer is gonna be in chains, and the Israelites is gonna be saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, or is this the nation? See, the so-called white nation, or the white man, they're gonna be saying, this the man that made the earth to tremble? See, why he done fell from his he done fell from heaven, because he used to be running the earth. He used to have tanks and planes and battleship, but now he a slave. Now he a slave to the so-called Negro and the Hispanic and the Native American. See, now he on the bottom. That's what they gonna be saying. But see, they doing all this witchcraft now, thinking that they gonna get away. And they been doing witchcraft. Let's go back to Jeremiah. No, that was Isaiah. But I want to look at Jeremiah. Because Jeremiah is all about, from Jeremiah 49 to the end of Jeremiah, it's talking about the so-called white man. That's why Jeremiah 49:7 say, concerning Edom. And then it start reading down the rights. He's with the writing some more. The Edom, this gonna happen to Edom. The Lord gonna expose Edom and make him naked. He ain't gonna be able to hide. See, he saying that he ain't gonna be able to hide, letting you know that these dragons gonna try to hide. No, we're not the Edomites, we're the white man. See, they're gonna try to hide behind these false identities, because that's what a criminal do. That's what a fugitive do. He put a mask on. He changed his name, changed his identity like Jason Bourne. See, that's what they do. We're Caucasian, we're European, we're Anglo-Saxon. See, they're going to say every other thing, but we, the Edomite, that's going into slavery. But that's a part of their witchcraft. See, witchcraft ain't just rituals, it's also telling a bold-faced lie. Oh, here go one here. Verse, this Jeremiah 51:35. It said, the violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. Shall the inhabitants of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldeans shall Jerusalem say. So he pretty much saying that these Illuminati Chaldeans, Babylonian Edomites, they the Israelites gonna be saying something about them. Now that was a statement that they said. Oh man, what was that? Jeremiah 51:54. And this is when they realize that they going down. It says, sound of a cry cometh from Babylon. That's America plus all of the so-called white men. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans. See, they gonna be crying. They already crying. Hell. Oh, the stock market is going down. Oh, the inflation. Oh, the gas prices. Oh, we just going through so much. That's why you got so-called white men walking around with rifles and a flag saying F Biden. Because they mad as hell. Okay. Yeah, I like this one. This is Jeremiah 51 and 60. It says, so Jeremiah wrote in a book all the evil that should come upon Babylon, even all these words that are written against Babylon. So it's a bunch of stuff that's written against these dragons. And it's talking about their kingdom is gonna fall, and they enchantments ain't gonna save them. Let's see. Let me see what's in. They thinking they gonna do all this witchcraft, and the witchcraft gonna save them. But look at here, 2nd Ezra 16. I'm gonna start at verse 1, because this represents all the Edomites at the end of the day, and the heathen. It says, woe be unto you, meaning destruction unto the so-called white man. Babylon, Asia. And see that, when you look at Babylon and Asia, that goes along with Edom and Moab. Because the Chinese and the so-called white man always team up together, and they try to maneuver against the Israelites. It says, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Assyria. That's another one. Egypt goes for these darn Hamites and these Arabs who teaming up with the so-called white man too to try to defeat the Israelites. But he say in verse 3, 2nd Ezra 16 and 3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? See, can your witches and warlocks turn back this war? Can they destroy all the nuclear missiles? Can they defeat all the armies that's coming against the so-called white man? Can they make the so-called white man get along with each other? See, it's not gonna happen. It says, verse 4, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Who gonna quench the fire that the Lord sent into these dragons? Verse 5, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? What is that witch doctor or that witch? What is he, man? What is he gonna drive away? He's not gonna drive away these dragons, man. I mean, he's not gonna drive away these missiles that's coming for these people. It says, let me get to the point. Verse 7. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. So when the missiles fly, which they already flying in the spirit, when they fly, which one of these witch doctors is gonna save them? says, verse 8, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? See, who is these witchcraft experts? What kind of sacrifice you gonna do to drive the weapons that the Lord is sending upon these red dragons? Verse 11, it says, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. See, the Lord threatening these dragons. You saying, man, listen, ain't nothing you gonna be able to do when Putin send them nuclear missiles, when the Iranians send them nuclear missiles, when the North Koreans send them nuclear missiles. What are you gonna be able to do? It says, jumping straight to verse 13, it says, for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. See, an arrow, you can't shoot an arrow to the ends of the world. See, you cannot shoot an arrow 1,000 miles. See, you can't shoot an arrow a freaking mile, man. I don't give a damn what kind of bow and arrow that you got. You're not going to be able to shoot this arrow a long distance. Especially not to the ends of the world. From one side of the earth to the other side of the earth. It ain't but one weapon that can go from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth. One weapon. Verse 14, it says, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. So they can sacrifice 1,000,000 children, blood sacrifice. They can sacrifice 1,000,000 women, 1,000,000 people. They can sacrifice as many people they want to sacrifice, and it's not going to turn the weapons away from their behind. It's not going to turn the pestilence away. It's not going to turn these militaries that's going to come against them. See, it's not going to stop the prophecy. Look at verse 39. It's still in 2nd Ezra 16, verse 39. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and the sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Verse 40. O my people, hear my words. Make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth. So, ain't nothing stopping it. The Lord's people not even stopping the plagues. You can't go to some Israelites and say, Israelites, pray for us and help and tell your God to not bring these plagues. We sorry, Israelites. We didn't mean to enslave y'all. We sorry, Israelites. We didn't mean to mistreat y'all. We sorry, Israelites. Pray to your God. See, you can't even go to an Israelite and beg him. It's not going to happen. Ain't nothing going to stop the plague. and the evils and sorrows that's going to be on every side. When you turn to the left, you're going to see these evils. When you turn to the right, it's going to be evil. This is what's going to happen. And ain't nobody, your witches and your warlocks, ain't going to be able to save you, man. But that's what they thinking. Let me go back into that. Because this is what they said. And this is what they did, the Egyptians did. Because they thought this was something that was going to save them. Exodus 7 and 11. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. Now that just brought another point to my head. Daniel, what did they do? The king did the same thing. Daniel chapter 2. What did he say? Might be Daniel chapter 1. Let's see. Oh yeah, chapter 1 verse 20. It says, and in all matters of wisdom and understanding. Okay, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. Oh, here it is. Daniel chapter 2 verse 1. He said, in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar's dreams with his spirit was troubled, and he slept, and his sleep break from him. Verse 2. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans. See? For to show the king his dream, so they came and stood before the king. So this is what the so-called white man is doing. He calling all his witches, his warlocks, his psychics, his whatever you can think of, the astrologers, monthly prognosticators. He calling anybody he can, all the wise men who know all the tricks. He calling everybody. What we gonna do, man? The Lord is raising up these Israelites, and they saying we finna get destroyed. We seeing all these UFOs in the sky every day for 2 months straight. We seeing so much we can't even show it on the news. We can't even tell nobody. And probably the familiar spirit saying, y'all better not tell. They'll tell these people what's going on, because we don't want them to know either. We want to come up on them like a thief in the night. Let them believe whatever they gonna believe. Don't give them no evidence. And so this is what the so-called white man is doing. He trying everything in his power to change the prophecies, which is not gonna work. They gonna get their punishment, and that's the end of that story, because nothing gonna save you.
Don't go to church on Sunday, but we gon' make it one day.
I repeat and I repeat once again, I do not own the copyright to this music. I do not own the copyrights to this music that's in the background. Okay, Ezekiel chapter 7. It says, thus says the Lord of hosts, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. At verse 6, at the end it is come, the end is come, it watches for thee, behold, it is come. See, that's how it is for the so-called white man. It's the end of your kingdom. You falling down, and you ain't gonna come back with no witchcraft or whatever trick up your sleeve. Everything you do is gonna fail, like the lady in Color Purple. Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna fail. See, you ain't gonna be able to do right. Ain't nothing you can do. You gonna fail. Now let me see if I can squeeze this verse in and close out. Matthew, what is it, 26?
The heart of a non-owned beat with the soul of a vintage racetrack. The golden era reimagined. Introducing our new method. This time we come deep and deeper.
Salakia, bear with me 1 second. Okay, here it is. Matthew, I always miss that one. Matthew 26, starting at verse 7. It says, there came upon him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it upon his head, and sat at his meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. 13. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also